With great power comes great responsibility. And how you handle that responsibility says everything about your skill set as a leader. At least 13 of our service members were killed in yesterday's terror attack on the airport, while hundreds of desperate Americans are still trying to flee Afghanistan. Our commander-in-chief says he takes full responsibility, but not really. Time to blame Trump.
I bear responsibility for fundamentally all that's happened of late. But here's the deal. You know, I wish you'd one day say these things. You know as well as I do that the former president made a deal with the Taliban that he would get all American forces out of Afghanistan by May 1.
Pointing the finger at somebody else while claiming responsibility is something Democrats do well. But no one, not even Uncle Joe, can do it better than Hillary Clinton. Remember her?
As I have said many times since September 11th, I take responsibility. When I took responsibility, I took it as a challenge. You know, look, I take responsibility.
You haven't taken enough of the blame on yourself, because again, that was something which came up in the campaign that, you know, oh, Hillary tries to blame other people and not herself. And do you accept this criticism that even Bernie Sanders?
No, I don't.
And we thought that was bad. Joining me now is someone who knows what it really means to be a leader, veteran Navy SEAL, and author of Leadership Strategy and Tactics, Jocko Willink. So, Jocko, when you hear someone say, I take responsibility, and then they say the word but, no, that's a red flag. What would you have liked the president to have said this week?
Well, as you just pointed out, when you take ownership of something, you cannot follow it with the word but, especially when you are the president of the United States and you are literally responsible for everything that happens. So you have to take ownership of it, take responsibility for it, and then you actually have to put a plan into action to solve the problem that has been created by you. That's what we need to see from the president right now.
His method is empathy. They're trying to say, I feel your pain, and even though I caused that pain, that's going to absolve me of any accountability for it. That seems to fly in politics. But when you're the commander-in-chief, the head of the military, I don't think that cuts it.
I think he's saying a bunch of words right now that are having less and less meaning every day. I mean, he made this statement that we will not forgive, we will not forget, we will hunt you down and make you pay. And in the meantime, we are following the orders of the Taliban, and they want us out of there by August 31st. So that's when we're leaving. It doesn't match up. His actions aren't matching his words. His words are becoming more and more weak every single day.
We ran with Kellogg, the guy that did the deal under Trump with the Taliban, and he said last night, he said this date could have been moved. It was not set in stone, and there were 4 conditions that had to be met, and the Trump plan was to keep Bagram and to keep 2,500 American forces there and paramilitary back guys from the CIA there until everybody was out and all the weaponry was out. And Biden just blew it up, set an arbitrary date with no conditions, and it was helter-skelter.
And now we are trying to attempt to negotiate with a complete position of weakness. And we should never do that. We should always negotiate from a position of strength, especially because we're the United States of America, the strongest and most powerful military in the world.
All right, Jocko Willink, everybody go check out the podcast, then go check out the book. I read the book. And now I don't blame the producers for anything. I just own all the mistakes that they make. And they love that. Thanks, Jocko.
Outstanding.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.